Jamaica's Hansle Parchment, Rasheed Broadbell, and Orlando Bennett head to the men's 110-meter hurdles semi-finals. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go in and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your comments after this sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races. So, are you ready? Yep. Good to go. I need to tell you that because of what we are covering, the major championships being held in Oregon, we simply cannot show you any video or video clips because of copyright infringement. If we do so, we take the chance of getting strikes and YouTube either removing our channel and or removing the video. So we simply can't show you any actual videos of the races. So let's get on with it. As one would expect, all three Jamaican men over the men's 110-meter hurdles advanced to the semi-finals, with Jamaica's Hansle Parchment, the Olympic gold medalist of 2021 at the Tokyo 20 Olympic Games, advancing with the second fastest time with a time of 13.17 seconds, with the American Grant Holloway having the fastest time of 13.14. Hansle Parchment looked good, but at the starter's gun got a terrible start. As you can see in this still, Parchment was maybe second to last getting out of the blocks, but by the third hurdle he was back in form, catching that person ahead of him and moving comfortably towards a 13.17 victory. Parchment looked impressive, but you know, he's been trying to work on that start all season and he needs to fix that start in time for the finals, people. The 13.17, as I stated, was very impressive. Rasheed Broadbell came second in his heat and did a good job. He was way out there in lane 8. No one saw him coming, but he did have a few technical snafus. I believe he hit the last, well, I think he hit hurdle 6, 7, and possibly hurdle 8. If he manages to clean that up, we should see a much better Rasheed Broadbell in that semi-finals. He ran 13.36 to take that second position. Bennett of the three Jamaicans was weakest. He was there in lane number 5, got a decent start, but just simply didn't do as well as one would have hoped. Well, the big story in this heat was the American Daniel Roberts, one of the favorites to win, fell in this heat. This had happened to him last year, I believe, at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Not sure if it was that or it was a 2019 World Championship, but I know he had fallen previously. So Bennett, well, got through on as one of the fastest losers to the semi-finals with his time of 13.55. Now listen to the commentators, and this is just my 2 cents. You would believe that this is going to be a clear American sweep. I guess they believe that Devon Allen and Grant Holloway and the other American will sweep. In our opinion here at Peter Lloyd World, we don't think that's even a possibility. We do not think they can sweep. I can see that Grant Holloway looks really good, the best he has looked perhaps all season outdoor. We know that Devon Allen is fast, but I'm going to say to you again, Hansle Parchment has beaten Devon Allen already for the season. And in fact, Parchment is unbeaten for the entire season. And this 13.17, he looked very comfortable. And I forgot to tell you that in the last 20 meters, he did something that you don't really see people do in the hurdles. He eased up 20 meters out of that finishing line. That's something you just don't see people do. Once he cleans up his start, which I'm pretty sure that he will, because he really did get a terrible start, his mastery, his technical mastery, which is remarkable, I think he's a real contender for that gold medal. I honestly believe this. He looked great. He looked very comfortable. He didn't look as if he was pushing. There's a whole lot more left in his legs. As I stated, Rasheed Broadbell hit at least 3 hurdles back to back to back. I'm amazed he didn't fall. If he cleans up his act, we are going to look good going into that finals, once of course we get through the semi-finals. It's hurdles, people, so we can't just automatically assume that we will get through the semi-finals. As I keep saying, hurdles is not just about speed, it's about technique, and anything can happen on the day. Daniel Roberts right now would tell you that I'm correct, being one of the clear favorites going in and hitting that hurdle, the first hurdle, and then by the third falling. It's hurdles, but I believe Parchment looks really good. If he gets the start we've seen him get throughout the outdoor season, he is going to be a major contender for that gold medal. I still think he can win it. I believe he's a person who remains coolest when under stress. We saw him beat Grant Holloway last year. We saw him beat Devon Allen already. I think he has the psychological advantage going in, and he clearly has increased his speed. So this should be very interesting. There's another American who I believe currently has the second fastest time in the world. Forgive me, I can't remember the gentleman's name. He's one of the reasons why they're believing America will sweep. I don't think that's going to happen in the men's 110 meters hurdles. So once we get through the semi-finals, it should be a very interesting finals, people. As I said, Parchment simply has to clean up that first part of his race, get the start we've seen them getting for the outdoor season thus far for the 2022 season. Broadbell simply needs to clean up his race. He did very well, and I think we are contenders. I'm not going to say I believe Bennett is a contender. It's not impossible, but as it stands right now, the race is really between the Americans and us Jamaicans, which is what we had anticipated. Holloway looks good, Devon Allen looks good, and that other gentleman who is now the second fastest in the world, or is he the fastest? I can't remember his name. I apologize. They look good, but Parchment looks good. Broadbell looks pretty decent. So I believe if there's any hope for the Americans to sweep, I believe Parchment is definitely going to spoil that party. Of course, this is just my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to keep it locked here. We will be covering throughout for this big event happening in Eugene. You know that the women's 100 meter heats comes up, and I believe in the first heat, maybe the birthday girl herself, Superwoman Sharika Jackson, and then in heat 2 should be Shelly and Fraser Price, and in heat 3 should be Elaine Thompson Hera. That's about 7 something this evening, Saturday. And then of course there's going to be the men's 100 meter semi-finals and finals. That's going to be a scorcher, people. I still think that we can spoil the party. I still, however, think that Fred Curley looks remarkable. He just looks remarkable. But I believe, and I said it in a previous video, that Oblique Seville and certainly Johan Blake, they're going to shock the world in a good way. So keep it locked here on Peter Lord World. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. Hit the the notification bell. I almost said motivational. The notification bell. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video, and leave your comments. Remember your greatness, kings and queens, members of the royal family here at Peter Lloyd World. Act like it. Bless up.